When people ask why I stayed so long, I don't have an answer that makes sense. From the outside, it looks simple. If someone treats you badly, you leave. But it's never that simple when you've been trained to doubt your own eyes, your own memory, your own sanity. That's what gaslighting does. It doesn't just twist reality. It convinces you that your reality was never real to begin with. I spent 5 years with her. 5 years of being told I was crazy, overreacting, too sensitive. 5 years of apologizing for things I didn't do, for words I never said, for thoughts I hadn't even thought. It didn't start that way. In the beginning, she was magnetic. The kind of person who could make you feel like the most interesting man in the room just by looking at you. I was 32, shy, cautious, a little beaten down by failed relationships. She swept me off my feet, fast and hard. Compliments, attention, affection, it felt like drowning in sunlight. But the sunlight turned harsh. It began with little things. I'd say, "Didn't you promise we'd have dinner with my sister tonight?" She'd tilt her head in reply, "You imagined that. We never talked about it." I'd second-guess myself, thinking maybe I had misremembered. Once I told her I didn't like the way she teased me in front of her friends. She laughed, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "You're too sensitive." Nothing happened. Her friends laughed too, and I laughed along, pretending it was fine. Inside, it felt like I'd been erased. She flirted openly with others. When I confronted her, she'd roll her eyes. "You're jealous. Why are you always trying to control me?" Slowly, I stopped confronting her. It was easier to swallow the jealousy than to face the storm of her indignation. The manipulation escalated in subtle, cutting ways. If I remembered an event one way, she insisted it happened another. If I expressed hurt, she told me I was imagining insults. If I cried, she called me weak. If I raised my voice, she called me abusive. Every reaction I had became evidence that I was broken. Friends started drifting away. She'd tell me they didn't really like me, that they only put up with me because of her. She'd criticize my family, say they disrespected her, that I should choose sides. I didn't notice how my world was shrinking until she was the only voice left. By year 3, I barely recognized myself. I used to be confident at work, but I stopped speaking up in meetings because her voice echoed in my head, "You're always wrong." I stopped running, stopped drawing, stopped doing the little hobbies that had once grounded me, because she said they were pointless. One night, after yet another fight where she accused me of being paranoid, I stood in front of the bathroom mirror. I didn't recognize the man staring back. My face was thinner, my eyes hollow, my posture bent like I was apologizing for existing. That was the first time I thought, she's killing me without ever laying a hand on me. But even then, I didn't leave. Because by then, I believed I couldn't. She told me so many times that no one else would ever want me, that I was lucky she tolerated me. And I believed her. The breaking point wasn't some dramatic revelation. It was small, almost pathetic. We were at dinner with friends. I made a joke, nothing special, nothing mean. Everyone laughed, except her. She leaned over and whispered, "You sound so stupid when you try to be funny. Please stop embarrassing me." I froze. My friends kept talking, unaware. I sat there, my face burning, realizing in that moment that she had succeeded. She had convinced me to hate myself. 2 nights later, I packed a bag and left while she was asleep. I didn't leave a note. I didn't take much. Just clothes, my laptop, a few photos of my parents. I drove to a motel on the edge of town and sat there shaking, convinced I'd made a mistake, convinced she'd be right, that I'd come crawling back because I was nothing without her. She called me dozens of times that night. Voicemails alternating between rage and pleading. "You're crazy. You're ruining everything. I love you, please come home. Nobody else will ever love you." Her words were like chains clinking through the phone. I deleted them all, but the echoes stayed in my head. Leaving didn't make it stop. For months, I doubted everything. I'd write something down and then reread it 10 times, convinced I'd imagined it. I'd replay conversations in my head, unsure if they had really happened. Even in therapy, I kept asking my therapist if I was exaggerating. That's what gaslighting does, it poisons you long after the source is gone. It's been 3 years since I left. On paper, I'm doing better. I have a stable job. I see friends again. I've even dated, though nothing serious. But the damage lingers. I still flinch when someone raises their voice. I still apologize reflexively, even when I've done nothing wrong. I still sometimes look in the mirror and hear her voice telling me I'm pathetic. People like to say leaving is the end of the story, but it isn't. The relationship ends, but the echo doesn't. The mirror still lies sometimes. And that's the part nobody tells you. Surviving gaslighting isn't about walking away once. It's about walking away from the lies inside your own head every single day. Some days I win. Some days her voice wins. I wish I could tell you I'm healed. I'm not. I'm surviving. And for now, maybe that's all I can do.